So this is Pepe Melan. Can I pronounce your name? Did I pronounce
Yes,
it
it's
right?
Pepe Melan,
Okay.
yes.
And do you actually live out here locally in this area?
I do. I actually live in Lancaster. I've lived out here since I was 4 years old.
Oh, okay. So I live in Lancaster too. It's a nice place.
Yes.
So I've seen some of your pictures, and it's the comic book
Yes.
style. So how did you first begin doing this, and how long have you been doing it?
I've been drawing my whole life, as we all do when we're younger. Basically, in high school is when I got more interested in it, and that's when I actually decided that would be more of a career path I would like to try to do. And I've been collecting comic books since I was 4 years old. Started reading them seriously at 5, 6, 7 years old. And then in high school, I really started collecting them all. I have all the issues of Iron Man, so.
I liked, my friend had comic books, she introduced me to them, but they were more of like the ghost.
Oh, okay.
The ghost ones. I just remember there was a scene where why is a hospital way out here and there's a skeleton in a wheelchair off to the side. I'm like, I don't know that I'd read those now. But. So you're an award-winning children's book illustrator also.
Yes.
What books did you illustrate?
I illustrated Brandon's Day at the Fire Station, and the other book is I Love You More Than, and the author lives in Chicago. She actually it was up for a nomination for a humanitarian award in Chicago. I'm not sure which award it was.
So it's more like the younger kids?
Yeah, the children's books are. My comic books that I do myself are actually geared for like teenage type books. So.
Okay, and you have your own company, Unique Realm.
Yes.
And this comic book, Tales of Blood and Fire, that you're doing, is this something that you are actually writing the dialogue and doing the things yourself, or are you just producing it?
Actually, I help produce it. As far as writing goes, we do correlation of stories. I don't actually write it. I do give the synopsis of the story, and I have a friend that helps write the book.
Oh,
for
okay.
me. And I actually did all the inking, drawing, coloring, lettering, and page production of the book. So.
Now, is that something that's already out? Because I was looking on your website, and I saw that you have a picture art from it, but there was
I actually do have copies myself to sell. So,
okay. Yeah. And then you're doing an anthology series.
Yes.
So what is that?
Basically, it's a supernatural tale. It deals with the personification of death. The character is called Nyx. Basically, the world's kind of gone to a bad, dark place.
Yeah.
Fate pulls her in to help fight the demons and creatures that are trying to take over humanity.
Oh, okay. Actually, sounds like it would be a cool series to watch too. So, how long did you say you've been doing this? It's been a while.
Seriously, drawing? I've drawn my whole life. I was probably started, I think in high school I couldn't take a drafting class, so I had to take an art class. I said, what the heck? I was drawing, why not? And that's actually and so I was probably like 15, 16 when I really seriously got into it. And that's been the path since then. I've kind of had to start and stop too with life, so.
Yes, I actually hear that a lot from artists that, kids and family.
I was raising my daughter, had family, so that was the most important thing at the time. So I put all my art on the side. I would still draw here and there, just not like I can now.
Right. Okay, so on your website, you have custom shoes and jackets.
Yes.
So how did that come about?
Actually, I'm a huge Prince fan. I've been a Prince fan since I was 12. I actually painted a jacket, wore it to his nightclub. At the nightclub, a gentleman saw it, asked if I liked the boss, and then that's actually how I ended up working for him, because I did graphics for his nightclub, Glen Slam in LA, back in the 90s.
What kind of graphics?
It was like flyers for it was Erotic City Night. It was where they had dancers dance to his unreleased music at the time. And so it was kind of neat to hear stuff you've never heard before.
Yeah. And I saw your Christmas cards. Those are. Is that your sense of humor coming out with the Christmas cards?
It is, and it's also a thank you to the clients. It's my way of saying thank you for business through the years. So.
Which brings me to, you have fan art on there. Is that stuff other fans have drawn or that you've drawn for them?
No, what fan art basically is like you like a certain character, so you draw it yourself. It's considered fan-drawn art of that character. That's what they call fan art. So fan art basically is me drawing Rocket and Groot and the way I interpret them in my style. That's
so
what
it's
fan
your
art is.
stuff,
It's all my
but
stuff.
it's your fan art.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, no, business-wise, you do commissions for people.
Yes.
What kind of artwork do the people ask for?
I've done portraits for people. I've done custom shoes, as we talked about, custom jackets, art like this, painted. They call them sketch covers, where people will hire you to put an image on a blank cover. So that type of artwork. So kind of basically everything.
I did see Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore.
Yes, I've done
on
those.
there.
That was my daughter's jacket, actually.
Okay, because it's a little different. So,
Yeah.
here at this exhibit here, what kinds of things are people? I love Groot. I
Yes.
actually have a little Groot who sits next to my computer and holds my earphones.
Yeah.
What other types of art do you have here?
It's sci-fi, it's fantasy, it's a little kind of graphic design work, comic book art, kind of a little bit of everything, basically. To me, it's all art. I don't break it down. To me, art's just art. So.
How many years of work does this display here represent?
Probably at least 10 years, because I've been doing conventions seriously for 10 years, and so it's just been an accumulation of the 10 years of when I started doing conventions.
So coming up, you have this art exhibit, which is going to be on display until July 8th here at the Palmdale Playhouse. And then you're going to come back here for the Generation Art Show?
Yes.
What exactly is a Generation Art Show?
It's kind of all ages participate, and then they pick and select pictures, and you're allowed to, all ages, from little to young to old, photographs, artwork, kind of everything. It's actually a neat show for this area. Actually, comics have helped me. I read novels, I read business books, so it's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
How many books have you read now over your lifetime?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. They vary. Spiritual, business, comics, fun, fantasy, sci-fi. I have no idea, actually. It's I probably have a few hundred books on my bookshelf. So, yeah, if not more than that.
So, who's your favorite artist?
Actually, there's a couple of them. Joe Jusko is a fantasy artist. He painted Conan. And actually, it's one of the reasons I picked up the paintbrush and started painting. And actually, I've become friends with him from doing comic book conventions. He's a really nice gentleman. He's a painter. Also, Boris Vallejo, sci-fi fantasy artist. Alex Ross, he's a comic book artist. He's a watercolor artist. His stuff's phenomenal. So it's just, and even just regular comic book people that I see, and I just think their style's neat.
So on yours, what kind of media do you use? It seems like you had a lot of different.
I do different.
Selections.
I love traditional painting, but what I will do is, if it's not a full traditional painting, I will ink wash it, tone it so it's all black and white, like a black and white photograph. I will scan it into Photoshop, and then I will digitally paint on top of that. So the tones are basically laid in for you. You're just adding value to those tones. And it's kind of an old Renaissance technique that they used to do. And Alex Ross actually does that in some of his artwork too. Yeah, it's.
So what kind of advice do you have for people who, maybe want to encourage their kids or themselves?
Well, I think everybody should create, regardless of your skill level, because art's therapeutic. It's very healing. It takes you out of the world, puts you in a meditative state, and it's just enjoyment out of it. Don't worry about perfection. Just keep doing the things that you love to do, because if it makes you happy, most things don't do that, and art really does that. We're all artists when we're really little, and we seem to forget that. It's kind of taken out of us as we get older. So that's my thing, is do it anyway, regardless of your skill level, because it's really good for your mind, and your heart. So.